Hello, my name is Jacob Demant, and I am the lead software developer for the Pavonis web application. Today, I'm going to take you through a quick tour on how to use the application. First thing you'll need to do is search up pavonis.app in your browser. Next, you'll be able to sign in with the login credentials we provide in the email being sent out this morning. Once you're signed into the application, you'll want to make sure that your laptop is connected to your Pavonis box. Once you're connected, you can start your experiment. After granting permission to view the audio devices connected to your laptop, you'll be able to select from a drop-down menu of available video devices. Normally, you'll see your Pavonis box appearing here. For this video, I do not have access to a box, so I'm using a virtual video device which I have access to, as well as you and your team. This virtual video device has a preloaded video feed of a slide in the Pavonis box. One thing I'll make note of before I take a capture is the black dot on this slide holster. If you can see to the right of the slide where I'm circling with my mouse, there's a black dot on the 3D printed frame, which allows us to locate the angle effectively of the slide and then warp it as if we're looking at it normally. This allows our computer vision algorithms to perform significantly better, and it also makes the user experience quite a bit better in terms of being able to place additional points on the slides, edit masks, and more. Once you're happy with the angle of your slide, you can begin capturing your image. Perfect. So the WoundCube system will, as I said, warp the slide so that it's easier to view and that you can place points on the circles. The WoundCube engine will do its best to place points on anything it detects as a circle on the slide. As you can see, it got it perfectly right here. In case one of these circles was wrong, or maybe circles were missing, we have the option for you to deselect and select more points. So for example, I'll remove these 3 points, and I'll be able to add more points. And maybe I'll accidentally place a point and I'll just want to undo it, or maybe I'll decide to redo it. It's all integrated in here. You can also zoom in on the screen in case you're having trouble placing your points. Next, you can proceed to the masking screen, where we'll find effectively islands of masks that are close to all the points that were detected on the image. As you can see, these masks appear perfectly, but in case they didn't, you can edit them using a paintbrush and an eraser. So I might be able to add another mask here if I wanted to, but now I've decided I do not need this mask, so I'm just going to erase it. Once you're happy with your masks, you can proceed to the results page, where you'll be able to label all of your sites with protein names as well as name your experiment. So the first thing I'm going to do is name this experiment. I'll name it test demo, maybe just demo Pavonis experiment. And for all of the proteins, I'll name them proteins 1 through 8, just for simplicity. Of course, you can name these whatever you want as long as it's something you can type on your keyboard. As you can see, we're also displaying the RGB values that have been detected in the value, as well as the calculated OPL, or wavelength. These are all cross-referenced with numbers on your masks, so you know exactly which mask is referring to which protein. You'll notice that we currently are not calculating delta C on this table. This will be up within 24 hours. Once you're happy with your experiment, you can click Save, and you'll notice how it should appear in your experiment list. Demo Pavonis experiment. The other thing I'll highlight on this page is the experiments calendar, which allows you to, it'll indicate which other days have experiments on them, and you can click that day and see the experiments associated with them, and click the experiment and get directed to the experiment details page. You can do the same thing by clicking the experiment directly in this table, or by going to the View Experiment Results and then going to the Experiment Details page. And I will show you all three permutations. So the first thing I'll do is I'll try clicking the Experiment Detail button right here. You can see I'll get directed to the screen. I'll get the image that was captured, and I'll get all of the OPLs, the protein names, and whatever would have been entered for this experiment. Jumping back, I could just as easily click the entry directly in this table. There's my slide, there are my protein names, there are the wavelengths, and there are the RGB values. And lastly, I can also expand and see all of my experiments associated with my lab here, and I can filter them and search for them. So perhaps I want to search for test experiment 6. I might search test experiment, and it looks like it's spelt wrong, but I'm able to find it, click it, and go to it. I can also sort experiments. So it by default will sort by your most recent, but you can do A to Z, Z to A, and back to most recent. You can also very easily add a new experiment by clicking this big blue button, and it'll direct you to the camera screen, like so. And lastly, we have a few other convenience buttons. In case you want to just jump straight to your experiment list view, you can click this button. And if you want to jump straight to your most recent experiment, you can click this button. And there we go. The last thing I'd like to note is we have a sign out page and a home button on the menu, so it's easy to navigate between pages no matter where you are in the application. So you can always jump back to home, and once you're done with the application, you can sign out.